So, you think you've got what it takes? You think you're ready for management? All right then, it's time to prove it. This course is for associates who are thinking about preparing to or have just recently transitioned from associate to supervisor. This can be a somewhat tricky transition, so listen carefully and be prepared. Let's begin by talking about employees who'd like to be on a path to management but aren't quite sure if they're ready. Here are some basic tips on how to know if you're ready to take the next step in your career. First, you should have some broad experience in the industry. Even if you've got great new ideas, you probably aren't ready to manage a team until you've been in the trenches a while. Nuances abound in every industry, so take some time and focus on learning. You should also consistently producing strong work and exceeding expectations, and ideally, you will have led a project or two. These types of experience will give you insight into the struggles of managing a team. You'll learn if you like managing people and how to handle conflicts among associates. Finally, you're probably ready for management if you're viewed as a leader by your colleagues. If you've often had people at work coming to you for advice or asking for your opinion, you're likely ready to pursue management. Of course, it isn't just you that has to decide you're ready for the next step. The management team for your organization has to see you as a potential manager too. So you've got to step up and show your bosses that you're ready to handle new responsibilities. You can do that by beginning to think and act like a manager. Of course, I don't mean you should start dictating tasks to your fellow colleagues. That's certainly not going to get you anywhere. Managers are the associates in the company that take charge, handling problems and tackling tasks. You can show you're ready for a management role by starting to do it today. Let's say, for example, there's a potential client who comes in with a very unique sales objection. Instead of running to your boss, brainstorm potential solutions on your own. Present the problem and your strategy to your supervisor. Hopefully, your ideas will solve the problem before he or she even has a chance to think about it. You can also show you're ready to be a manager by taking on additional responsibilities when you're able. The ability to fit small projects into your schedule seamlessly is part of being on a management team. When there are new projects or tasks that fit your skill set, volunteer to take them on and make sure your end results shine. Finally, managers need to have a complete understanding of how the organization functions, not just one isolated team. You'll show you're thinking like a manager when you fully understand the responsibilities of human resources, for example, or taking an even larger viewpoint, how changing government compliance rules will impact your industry. This might take some time and research, but if you're on the path to becoming a manager, it will be well worth your time. So what if you get the job? All of a sudden, you're going to be expected to lead a new team, full of people who are used to being your peers. Unquestionably, this big change at work can breed uncertainty. This will be especially true if your colleagues were also up for a big promotion. Here's what you do. Start by making sure you're prepared for success. Often, associates promoted internally face higher expectations than managers new to the organization because they're familiar with the company. Sit your new supervisors down and ask questions until you know exactly what's expected of you in your new role. Next, you need to begin a dialogue with your new team. Schedule a staff meeting and explain how you expect to transition into a managerial role. Avoid the temptation to badmouth a previous boss or focus on what you'll do differently. Just be honest, forthcoming, and most importantly, be yourself. Just because you're a manager now doesn't mean you should leave your personality and sense of humor at the door. These people are your colleagues, and they won't know what to think if all of a sudden you begin acting entitled. Once you've explained how you expect to transition, set clear team goals for the future and address how you see your team getting there. And be sure to get their buy-in first. Being specific will accomplish 3 goals. 1, your team will start to see you as a leader. 2, you will set clear work expectations. And 3, they feel valued because you asked for their feedback before forging ahead. Everyone benefits when they know what they're working towards. As you begin your work, you've got to avoid anyone thinking you might play favorites. Of course, you're going to have some closer relationships with some employees over others. Just don't give choice job responsibilities only to the team members you used to grab lunch with. This sends the wrong message. Be forthcoming about how you'll choose to assign new tasks by talking about what skills are required to get the assignments. Careful attention to your transition will not only be appreciated by your team, but should also limit the stress of change in the workplace. Hopefully your team will continue to be productive and efficient with you at the helm.